So many people think like, oh my God, somebody said train wreck, somebody said dumpster fire. Why? Because they didn't go out and get the biggest name. It has to make sense. Trajan Langdon is extremely strategic. He's very, very calculated. Again, I've said this before in other videos. He reminds me a lot of Brad Holmes in that he's patient. He's not going to react or act with emotion. He has a plan. He's going to work that plan. See, in my view, and I have a lot of videos about that as well, and I don't mean to jump to the Lakers quite yet because I want to speak to them separately, but the Lakers and what they're going through right now, way over the cap, and they're stuck. They have two $50 million players, $55 million players, and one is near the end, and one is not really a leader, and they're limited in the other areas of the roster. Would you rather have it that way? With two megastars, three megastars, even if you go into the luxury, luxury tax, it's just not a suitable way to be really good for a long period of time. And I believe that, somebody said the other day, well, it's been 10 years. They've been rebuilding for 10 years, for 15 years. They haven't been rebuilding for 10, 15 years. They made poor decision after poor decision. They went through a litany of coaches, GMs. They couldn't figure any of that out. Now you have what I believe to be the right coach in place, or the right GM in place, and the right coach in place. Cade has developed into more of a true number one. I still have some questions there, and I really need to see I'm looking for a bigger jump from him, and not be a deferral guy, but be I want the ball in my hands guy in the biggest of moments. Now you're going to distribute, obviously, if there's somebody there, but I want to see him take that step. But they have the makings. They have the recipe. They have the ingredients to be very good for a very long time. A lot like Around the Block there in downtown Detroit and how Brad Holmes does it. I'm not a window guy. I don't believe in windows. I don't even like the philosophy or the thought process of a window. That tells me that you're only designed to win in a certain period of time. And if you're doing things the right way, it's expansive. It's ongoing. It is, goes to, it just never stops. It's repetitive over and over yearly, in that you may reboot a little bit, you may reload, but you're not rebuilding. It's a big, big difference. And Trajan is doing the right thing. This was needed. Troy Weaver wanted to go trade everybody. Look at it. This is really sad to say. It's Piston related, but it's not. Is Joe Dumars is over in New Orleans right now. Troy Weaver, former GM, is now assisting him over there. I love Joe. I love Joe as a player. Joe, built the 2004 team for the Pistons. And, he was never a good drafter, but was a good trader, and obviously traded Grant Hill, sign and trade Grant Hill for Ben Wallace. And he did, other things like Rip Hamilton and at Chauncey Billups and other things, Rasheed Wallace. However, it's not going well there. And he made a crazy trade. And it's like, when you do that with emotion versus having a real strategy and working it out, generally good things don't happen. I ran a poll on X yesterday. You can only add 4 teams in the poll, and I added who's the worst. Vote to see who the worst was in terms of the worst franchise. It was Pelicans, Lakers, Knicks, and gosh, who was the other one? It escapes me right now. But the Pelicans, I think it was 45% of the vote. They were number 1. Lakers were number 2 in terms of the worst percentage of people that thought that they were the worst franchise. You don't want to be in that class. And the Lakers are in that class. The Knicks are in that class. The Pelicans are in that class. I can't believe I'm forgetting the last team there. But the Knicks were the lowest percentage of the group. It was Pelicans 1. It was Lakers, Bucks, Milwaukee Bucks. So it was the Pelicans worst. Then it was the Lakers. Then it was the Bucks. Then it was the Knicks. And I guess you can say the whole Damian Lillard thing didn't take place yet. So maybe it was skewed a bit. But the Pistons are doing everything the right way, and they're not any of those things. So, I have WNBA second there, but I'm gonna skip to Malik Beasley because it's Pistons related. It should have been second there. So this choice about Beasley, 3 years, $42 million was on the table for him to sign. Then they find out about the investigation. I'm not sure that they knew or didn't know prior to. I don't want to accuse anybody of anything. I find it hard to believe that they don't know. I think it's a known thing about him. I really and truly do. There's video all over the place of things that guy has done. He's being apparently being investigated for his time in Milwaukee, but if you know anything about gambling, if you know anything about point spreads, if you know anything about betting, if you know anything about what happens at end of games and point shaving, there is very suspicious evidence out there. One of them is when he's with Minnesota Timberwolves. You can find it on my YouTube at PB Sports Talk, and you can find it on X at PB Sports Talks, where the other team's at the free throw line, and he's kind of looking around, and there's like, I don't know, 4.5 seconds or something like that. And the game is already determined. It's like an 8.5 point spread, and it was a 9 point game. And when what make or miss, you inbound the ball or you rebound the ball. Typical standard is the NBA just lets the clock run out. You don't do anything, whether you have the ball offensively and with the lead or the other team that's losing. And he takes it coast to coast to go dunk it, and he gets it just inside the number. So the Pistons their hand was forced there. You have to pull that deal obviously off the table. That changed the thinking.